You never gonna frown. From the Midline Giants to the Madison Square. Bobo and Cramer, yeah, this man beginning there. Whoa, oh, oh. Bobo and Cramer, yeah, the sit the louds, taking on the world, and they're never gonna stop with that New York grit. They're rising to the top. In a line. Yeah, the best in the house is where the legends play. Bobo and Cramer leading the way. Raising plastic slides, shout it out loud. And the best in the house, we're rocking the town. And the best in the house, we're rocking the town. And the best in the house, we're rocking the town. And the best in the house, we're rocking the town.
And that's right, everybody. Welcome back once again to another edition of the Best Seat in the House podcast. This time, it's a special Wrestlemania edition of the show. I'm your host, Rob Cramer, alongside the on rotation Daniel Bobo Curlin. And Dan is here today. Dan, looks like you might have muted yourself.
Hold on, it's ready. That's right. The real king of queens is here. I'm here. And if you have a problem, you gotta take it with this guy. And what you're gonna do when the Best Seat in the House podcast boys run wild on you.
That's right, brother. As we are live here right now, fucking WrestleMania 41. Not sure days right now. Our good friend is out City Field right now. Getting ready for the Mets and Cardinals game today at City Field. So that's pretty cool over there. I hope you're having a good time over there, buddy. And are you ready for WrestleMania 21? Go.
Oh yeah, definitely. Fuck yeah, I'm ready for WrestleMania tonight. Night one, baby.
WrestleMania one has been, really over the top. It seems like a lot of people ever since Vince McMahon left have really, embraced WWE more so than in the past. I mean, as you can see, they were purchased by TKO for the last couple of years, the same company as UFC, so they're both under the same umbrella now. Their sponsorships are through the roof. Their attendance figures and merchandise are through the roof. So WWE is doing great business right now. And as we roll into WrestleMania Night One, I'm sure there are a lot of happy people right now over there at that company. And they're also coming off last night a pretty big night as they had the WWE Hall of Fame last night, Friday night. It was the latest I've ever seen it. Dan, me and you were talking about doing this show last night, and it turned out it wouldn't have even worked out that way. We ended up having to reschedule anyway, but they didn't start the Hall of Fame ceremony until 1 a.m. Eastern time. And that's because the venue they were holding it, obviously it's in Las Vegas this year, and the venue that they were holding it didn't start the thing until 10 p.m. over there. So 1 a.m. we got the kickoff. Did you see any of the Hall of Fame yet?
I didn't even get to see it because I was literally drained from last night having to help fix stuff in the backyard. It was like a barrage of everything during the early spring. When as soon as it gets warm.
Yeah, that's very good.
But yeah, I'm gonna be watching it. Hold on, can you hear me?
Hey, can you find a community area?
Hold on, let me turn it.
And all right, well, while Dan figures that out,
Is that working? Are you getting better signal?
Sounds a little bit better right now, but
it's just there's a lot of wind is what happens.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah, there's a lot of wind. What are you saying?
Your picture is frozen. See if you could come out and come back.
All right, no problem.
All right, so while both figures that I'll be back momentarily, we got plenty of stuff to get into. WrestleMania, I believe it's 15 matches over the next couple of days, 7 or 8 tonight, 7 or 8 tomorrow. And okay, here we go.
All right, you able to hear me better?
Yeah, we're able to um,
Yeah, there was a lot of wind, so
yeah, yeah. So if you can put your back, I know it's a pain in the ass. Either way, this is out. So Dan, thing, it's like getting all together things, but no reason. Uh, there's no time. No,
no, it isn't. No, people asking me stuff.
kick things off with little Raymond against El Grande Americano. And has much. This is a pretty cool story. Wind is terrible right now, but the right now we've got this storyline coming to a head tonight, where it's going to be Rey Mysterio against El Grande Americano. Now, if you're not familiar, if you haven't been following, Rey Mysterio, obviously everybody knows, is one of the greatest luchadors of all time. But El Grande Americano, everybody suspects, is Chad Gable from the WWE's main roster, but nobody knows the story yet. He hilariously is listed his where he comes from as the Gulf of America. So this has been a very entertaining storyline between these two. The betting odds are actually in the favor of El Grande Americano. But Dan, what are your thoughts on this rivalry and leading into this matchup so far?
I just feel like the El Grande Americano is just kind of making his moves on the roster. So he's gonna. I feel like he's gonna he's gonna win this one because I feel like they want to give him that big moment, and this is the perfect time for him to get that big moment to be WrestleMania tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point. It looks like, for a long time, I had just kind of thought going into this match that it was a throwaway gimmick, even though it was entertaining and funny as hell. I thought it was kind of a throwaway gimmick they were using just to get them to WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio would beat Grande Americano and unmask him to show that it's Chad Gable. It looks like that's not going to be the case now. I agree with you, though. I think Chad Gable or Grande Americano is going to win this one. And I think I think you're right. This could only be the beginning of El Grande Americano, and what better way to kick off this new gimmick than having him get a win over probably the greatest luchador of all time in Rey Mysterio, right?
Yeah, exactly. I just feel like it's a setup for this moment, and I feel like that's what we're gonna see happen to open WrestleMania Night One.
There we go. So obviously, both Auto with one. So all right, very cool with that. Let's keep it rolling along here. Damn that too. They got a bunch of championship matches happening over the next 2 days. The first one we're going to be touching on is the United States Championship match. LA Knight is defending his United States title against Jacob Fatu. Now, LA Knight, is one of the more popular superstars out there these days. He always gets a reaction from the crowd. Even at the Hall of Fame ceremony last night, he was dressed in the nines and, had every time the guy did anything, it drew attention from the crowd. So say what you want about him. A lot of people uh, get annoyed by him. A lot of people love him. But LA Knight right now is flying high as U.S. champion, going against the big man, Jacob Fatu. He's from that Samoan dynasty. He's in that family with Solo Sikoa and all these other guys that we've seen come through the ranks the last couple of years from The Rock and Roman Reigns from that family tree. And Jacob Fatu seems to be one of the biggest and more agile of all those guys. And he's going to be, he won his spot for the number one contendership to take on LA Knight at WrestleMania. This is the biggest match of this guy's career. Remember, he's been on the main roster for less than a full year. So this guy is still just getting his feet wet. Dan, what are your thoughts going into this match? Who do you like coming out on top?
I feel like they're going to give LA Knight the win on this one, just because I feel like they want to give that big Las Vegas moment. Las Vegas is a lot of over the top showmanship in Las Vegas, and I feel like he has that personality that just fits the Las Vegas vibe.
Yeah, I agree with you actually on that. I think this is the perfect opportunity for them to get LA Knight a big win. The guy hasn't really had any title run. He was just the last time that they put on him and had Shinsuke Nakamura, hold for a couple of months after that. Unfortunately, even though I was a big fan of what they did with Shinsuke's gimmick there, it, it, for some reason it just never resonated with the fans, and it never really got rolling in the way it probably should have. Either way, the you know, they would turn around and put the belt back on LA Knight right around the time of Elimination Chamber and set it up for him defending at WrestleMania against Jacob Fatu. And I'm with you too. I'm gonna agree with you on this one. I think LA Knight comes out on top and gets the victory and successfully retains his United States Championship. Um, or as LA Knight would say, yeah. I hate the fact that I just did that. But all right, so he's definitely retaining according to me and Dan right here. We're both in the same page on that, Dan. And let's keep it rolling along right now with Jade Cargill and Naomi. Dan, this is a storyline that goes all the way back to November and December when we knew that Jade was the one half of the tag team champions with Bianca Belair, the women's tag team champions. And apparently there was some jealousy behind the scenes, or its storyline at least. And Naomi took that jealousy out on Jade Cargill's skull on top of a car in the parking lot of Jack and Emily's Arena. They found her unresponsive on top of the windshield. And, apparently it ended up being revealed that Naomi was the one that attacked her. They've had a couple of these run-ins over the last few weeks, Dan. But, Jade Cargill is the type, she's got star written all over her. I definitely know WWE has big plans for her. And, it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. Who do you see coming out on top in this matchup?
I just feel like Naomi is going to win this, and I feel like she's going to pull some dirty move on Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I like that. Makes a lot of sense. Although however, am going to go the other way. I think Jade is going to come out on top and get the victory. It's going to be a feel good moment for her. It's going to be one of her, first single big establishing victories, a big WrestleMania win for her. But I can definitely see it going the way that you just said too. It's definitely possible. Obviously, if they have her, Naomi, that is, going up against Jade Cargill, who, as we just said, is going to be a star at some point if she isn't already. Um, they obviously have good plans for Naomi too. They wouldn't be putting her in this spot if they didn't feel like she couldn't live up to this moment, and you got to give her credit for that. So I could definitely see what you're saying to be true. However, I'm going to go with Jade Cargill. So, Bill, this is the first time me and you are going head to head on this. I'm taking Jade. You're taking Naomi. Um, all right, so we got another one down there. That's going to be a fun match, no doubt about it. Um, Now, again, we move on to another championship match here. The World Tag Team Championship coming from Monday Night Raw. The War Raiders defending against the New Day. And it's been really interesting the way this whole thing has played out. Because to be honest, I feel like I haven't seen any of the War Raiders on TV until maybe the last week or two. But I feel like they haven't been defending their titles. They haven't been visible. To be honest, for a while there, I even forgot who the Raw Tag Team Champions were. And then the New Day, who WWE has been putting a lot of emphasis behind over the last couple of months. Obviously, they had that big moment where the Xavier Woods and Tracy Kingston turned on Dizzy Langston, basically kicking the New Day. And yeah, man, I mean, they definitely have an opportunity right now to put their tag team titles back on the New Day. and see where they can take it in this new heel run. But what are your thoughts, Dan? Which way do you think WWE?
I feel like New Day is gonna win this one, but they're gonna have some kind of moment somewhere during their entrance or after they win this match. I just feel like they're just gonna. They,
Can you hear?
you're there. Yeah, we're cutting out.
All right, go back out and come back in.
I think I can hear you a little bit better. Are you able to hear me a little bit better?
Okay, that is better if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, what was the last thing you said about that?
What were you saying?
All right, so he's gonna win.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is that I think New Day's gonna win this, and they're gonna pull some over the top moment somewhere after they win this.
I just like what do you think of the over the top moment like them rolling over and shooting?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna say like they don't have they never told these at the stadium. What the? So online. That never mind that. Some fan is asking me about the grimace.
Okay,
The
and
the 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 the, the, the grimace grabs attention because he's the grimace.
yes, does. Yes, that's very. All right, so I definitely agree with you. I think this game is gonna win. WWE. This one, you know, into this new day storyline if they want just going to turn around and put the belt on. It makes a lot of sense to the new day team much higher on the right now, storyline wise. That you're going to need to put that man. All right, and for the benefit of keeping things going. And once again, thank you to our buddy, disabled officer coming in with the chat on there. We appreciate it. You hanging out with us as always. And Dan, let's keep it going along here. Another championship match right now. WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton, who's the champion right now, defending against Charlotte Flair. Now this is a this is a match right now that has really caught the attention of a lot of fans because it seems to have kind of crossed over into real life in a lot of ways. There was some cheap shots being thrown between these two. Charlotte Flair suggesting that Tiffany Stratton's real life boyfriend, Ludwig Kaiser, who's also on the main roster, was sliding into her DMs, and Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair both going off script apparently during one of their promo battles. So there seems to be a little real life heat between these two. They don't really seem to like each other too much. Now, you know, a lot of times we've seen that in the past. It usually turns out that the two talents use that and turn it into a great match. But, I guess it's going to be, these two are definitely great athletes, no doubt about it. Charlotte Flair could still have a great match with anybody. Tiffany Stratton's in a prime. So they should have a pretty good match. But, Dan, what are your thoughts about this one?
I feel like Tiffany Stratton is going to win this one, and probably Charlotte Flair after the match is going to retaliate after this match. Like there's going to be some aftermath scuffle. I feel like.
That,
You know, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You feel like a post-match beatdown going on.
Yep, exactly. I just really feel like that's how heated this rivalry is going to be. That it's going to go a little bit after the match.
All right. I see something like that happening, especially if Charlotte loses. However, this is going to be the second one, Dan. I'm going to go head to head with you on where I, uh, I wouldn't mind seeing Tiffany Stratton retain. However, I do think Charlotte Flair is going to be coming away with the championship today. Charlotte just seems like, um, the way they present her is, look, she gets inserted into the Royal Rumble, comes in late, wins the whole damn thing. She goes into to WrestleMania now. I feel like she's going to win the championship too. Tiffany Stratton's been very good, no doubt about it, ever since she beat Nia Jax, with the first of the Money in the Bank contract just a couple of months ago. But I see Charlotte Flair coming out on top of this one. It really could go either way too. I don't have a hard feeling one way or another, but I'm gonna say Charlotte Flair is going to come out on top. So all right, me and you going head to head on that one more time. Let's keep it rolling along here right now on this WrestleMania edition. As if you're wondering where Bobo is right now, he's at City Field, uh, interacting with other Met fans out there in line for what's the
Hold on, it's a little wind. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So what's the giveaway that
Oh, the giveaway, it's this little Mr. Met that has like a little orange Empire next to the Empire State Building. It has like little lights on it, like the orange and blue lights.
very cool, very cool. So in case you're wondering, that's why our intrepid reporter Daniel Bobo telling us that he's here today. Well, not only that, he wants to see the game and hopefully the Mets win the third of the four-game series and get that Mets mission Empire State Building. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty cool giveaway. It's like my sister wanted this, so it's like I was debating when to go see, but my sister wants that. She's meeting. She's like waiting at another gate, but she just arrived.
Okay. This is cool.
Yeah, it's not like just arrived. It's just she was somewhere closer to where she parked the car.
Uh, Going to the ride home today. And all right, we'll keep it all along here, then. Let's get to our first major championship, heavyweight championship, that is. World Heavyweight Championship, the Monday Night Raw title. The defending champion Gunther, who's held this title since he beat I think it was Vito actually. I was going to say Seth Rollins, but I don't think it was him. But either way, Gunther has been. Oh no, Gunther beat Damian Priest. That's what it was. So Gunther beat Damian Priest last year for the championship. He's been champion ever since then, and now he's going to be taking on Jay Uso. Um, I don't know. To be honest, I really don't like Jey Uso too much. I know the word yeet is over. I know a lot of the fans enjoy the word yeet and enjoy whatever it is Jey Uso does. I'm not that big a fan, to be honest. I'd much prefer to see Gunther get the victory and keep the title. However, James, what are your thoughts on this match before I give my prediction?
As much as I think that Gunther would win this one, I just have a stinking feeling that Jey Uso is going to win this.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's the whole stuff, right? The whole emotional.
Yeah, I just feel like they want to give Uso one of his, like, over the. He wants to kind of big and be over the top. He want to just give him that kind of thing that he would.
Again, your mic is cutting out a little bit. Can you say that again?
All right, can you hear me a little bit better? You hear me a little bit
That's a little better. But
better?
just give
Yeah. You really hear me? Because the wind passes by.
all right. All right. Put it wrong. So, Dan, I appreciate what you said there. The thing with Jay Uso winning, because I agree. I agree, actually. I think that Jay Uso is going to win this match. As much as I don't necessarily think he should. Because to be honest, too, if you're going to really break down every Royal Rumble winner of all time, you could probably make a case that Jey Uso is one of the worst. And it's hey, there's nothing that you can do. Um, this is the guy they're going with right now, and hey, let's see what he does, and they're hoping he hits a home run. Um, so we'll see. It's either going to be a big win for Gunther to keep this title reign going, or it's going to be, Jey Uso coming out and, getting his landmark victory that him and his whole family, his dad was Rikishi and everything, have been waiting for. So I guess we'll see which way WWE is leaning on that. And then finally, Dan, that takes us to the main event of night one. The main event tonight, the thing that, about 12 hours from now, maybe a little bit less than that. It's not the old days where they're going to midnight. Probably around at least 11 o'clock tonight or so. WWE is going to be, Eastern time, by the way. They're going to be having the main event, the triple threat match, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Dan, they put a lot of work into this build-up with these couple of guys. What are your thoughts on on this match, and who do you think should come out like that?
I just feel like they want to give CM Punk the win in this one. I just feel like there's a build-up. This is his first WrestleMania in a while.
Wait, so you think that what makes you feel that way?
I don't know, just a good feeling the way they just want to put this angle. I feel like they're just putting this angle that they just want to have him just choosing the day. And I feel like this is the way to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry for the bad audio with, with the wind and everything, but either way, yeah, I agree with Dan. I do think that CM Punk is going to get the win. I think if you break down when you look at this specific triple threat match, Seth Rollins doesn't need this win. The guy's been on top of the card for how long now? Roman Reigns also doesn't need the win. The guy just had a 5-year title run, come to an end at WrestleMania last season. CM Punk really needs the win. First off, he hasn't won. The last time he had a match at WrestleMania was 2013. So it's been a long time since he at WrestleMania. Um, and this is something, even though he was there last year and he didn't have a match because he was injured, and he ended up, interfering a little bit with Drew McIntyre and costing him. Um, hey, you got to go with the guy that needs the win the most, and I agree with you. I think that person right now is CM Punk. Um, so do you see any? We've seen the whole thread of this storyline, Dan, has been Paul Heyman being connected to all three of these guys. Paul Heyman obviously has his relationship with CM Punk that goes back a couple of decades. He obviously has a relationship with Roman Reigns, where he was the wise man for Roman Reigns throughout this whole Tribal Chief title run and everything like that with the bloodline. And then Seth Rollins now they're weaving in that Paul Heyman owes him a favor in that too. um, a lot of people are speculating that the person that wins this match is going to be because of Paul Heyman and his interference one way or the other. Who do you think Paul Heyman's walking out with in this one,
I think somehow Paul Heyman's gonna pull an interference that's gonna play in this CM Punk favor.
Dan? Okay. So it's going to over. Dan.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Who do you think is over Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman or Roman? Roman?
Yeah, I don't. Hold on.
Who do you who do you see Paul Heyman?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, that's true.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, we're gonna have to make this quick because this is unbearable right now.
You able to hear me?
Hear you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What were you saying?
If you had to, who is Heyman screwing over in this match? Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns?
Yeah, I feel like they could easily go in that direction. That's the problem.
Stupid number one. You know?
You you there?
Can you can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you. It's just the wind keeps interfering with it. With the sound.
Okay.
It's getting a lot.
Uh, all right, let's shift our attention now to WrestleMania Night 2.
Or,
Uh,
or you able to hear me now?
um, the WrestleMania Night 2 is tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. on Peacock. They got a slate over there too. Let's just do a little bit of a rundown on there right now. As you can see, Bobo's ear. Uh, let's see. All right, let's go with the Three City Street fight. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Dan, who do you got in this one?
Who do I got for this? I feel like I got Drew Drew McIntyre on this one.
All right, Drew McIntyre. Okay, and I agree with you. Um, I don't know what their plans are for Damian Priest. Uh, you know, he was just world champion last year. He won the world championship at WrestleMania. Um, so Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, obviously Drew McIntyre has been the top of the card for a while, but he hasn't won a big match in a little while. He lost twice to CM Punk late last season. Last season, thinking other sports. Late last year, he lost to CM Punk twice, although he did get that one win, but he did lose two out of three. So I'd have to say that I see Drew McIntyre also getting a win too. Damian Priest, I don't really know where he is in the card, but I don't think it's going to hurt him too much to lose to a guy like Drew McIntyre. And I'll agree with you on that one, Dan. That we got a Drew McIntyre victory tonight. Now, one of the other ones, the only other match on this card actually tonight too that is not um, a championship match is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Dan, what are your thoughts on AJ Styles taking on this young phenomenon, Logan Paul, at WrestleMania tomorrow night?
Yeah, this one I feel like Logan Paul is gonna win this one, and in true Las Vegas fashion, it'll be a match fee for being in the building.
Oh, be one of those, big time matches. This is going to be a match that people are going to be flipping. We're going to see it all over social media. There's going to be a couple of big moments. And sorry, Jim, what you're saying, I didn't meet you because when you,
When hold on, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I keep getting these these gusts of wind. For those who don't know, there's a lot of gusts and wind right here that's interfering with my signal.
You definitely so. So, all right, yeah. Wait, again. So, who do you think is winning this match?
I think Logan Paul is gonna win this.
I don't. In most of the matches we've talked about so far, I have like a pretty decent feeling of who I think is going to come out on top one way or the other. But yeah, with this match, I think it's still 50-50, but I kind of have to lean, in the direction with Logan Paul. But just for the sake of it, just for the sake of going head to head, with another one, you're going to take Logan Paul. I'll take AJ Styles. Um, you know, e- either way really wouldn't surprise me. So we kind of have to give them credit because WWE is going to let them go out there and put on a hell of a show. So I can't wait to see that match. AJ Styles and Logan Paul. All right, let's keep it moving along here. Just a couple of matches left here on the card. Um, yeah, we kind of wanted to make this a little bit longer and everything, but we're going to keep it kind of short because obviously the text isn't really that great so far right now. But let's keep it going along here, Dan, with the women's tag team championship match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend their championships against Bailey and the women's Intercontinental champion Lyra Valkyria. This match just kind of seems like a film match where they just kind of had to put it on the card. You know, I don't think they're going to take the belt off Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. Bailey and Lyra Valkyria seem like a slap together tag team just to get both of them on the card. Yeah, what are your thoughts about this match?
This one, I feel like the championship match, the winners of this tag team, women's tag team championship match will be Liv Morgan and Rachel Rodriguez.
See that Rachel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan come out on top. Uh, Bailey and Lyra Valkyria too. They were setting up for that you know Intercontinental Championship, the women's IC title. A feud between those two. Maybe something happens in that match. I could see Bailey definitely getting that women's IC title at some point. So I guess we have to see where they take us after that. But either way, I agree with you, Dan. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan tonight on top of that. All right, now we step at the women's Intercontinental Champion. Let's get to the men's Intercontinental Championship, Dan. As it's the men's Intercontinental title, a fatal four-way match. The champion Braun Breaker, who everybody loves his father and his uncle, the two Steiner brothers, Scott and the Rick Steiner. Um, Braun Breaker will be defending that IC title against Dominic Mysterio. Yes, that's right, Rey Mysterio's son Dominic, going up against Penta, who has really taken the WWE by storm since debuting here way back in January, and Finn Balor, who's been one of the biggest names on the roster for the last decade or so. Dan, what's your initial feeling coming into this one?
I feel like Dominic Mysterio is going to set up for. They're setting up to have the Mysterio family have a big moment in this WrestleMania.
I like it. It's funny too because I've been saying that I think Dominic is going to win for a couple of weeks now, but I don't know. I feel like I've kind of backed off that prediction a little bit over the last week or two. But you saying that makes me feel like I was on point. So maybe that is the case. However, Dan, once again, okay, I'll give you Dominic Mysterio because I do like that pick too. However, I'm going to think that maybe they give their newcomer Penta a little moment here at WrestleMania. And let's not forget his brother Ray Phoenix has just debuted in the company as well, or is in storyline. I don't know if they're actually brothers, but they're in a tag team called the Lucha Brothers, and everybody can't wait to see those two get together as a tag team eventually. But right now, they're really trying to establish them as individual single stars. I guess before eventually sticking them together as a tag team, so everybody can appreciate them for the great athletes that they are. I could see Penta, even if it's short-lived, maybe he's not going to have a very long title run with it. But for some reason, I feel like maybe Penta should put on top. So, okay, Jim has Dominic Mysterio taking the championship for this one, which I love that prediction too, Dan. I love that one. It makes a lot of sense. Because if you're going to have a whole bunch of WWE fans list who they like in order in this match, most of them would put Dominic Mysterio on the bottom. And in my opinion, that's exactly why you put the Intercontinental title. So I definitely like that prediction. And so James got Dominic, I got Penta for the Intercontinental title. And let's keep it rolling along here right now, Dan. I'm sorry, did you want to say something? Say something? Yeah, yeah. I always hear my right. He's frozen right now, so who knows what's going on there. I guess we'll come back to him when we can. Oh, okay, okay, we just got back in. There we go. And so we'll wrap this thing up. Dan, we got the last two championship matches here right now for Sunday night card. And that we're going to kick that off with the WWE Women's World Championship, a triple threat the champions who just won the title on Raw about 6 weeks ago. The champions who just won the title on Raw about 6 weeks ago. So, Dan, what are your thoughts on this match, and who do you see coming out on top?
This one, I feel like Rita Ripley is just gonna have. I feel like she just character. I feel like it sets up for a big stage like this. I feel like they're gonna give her this win.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Even though she's just champion too, I could see him taking the belt off her for her to win it again and have that big moment. I could see that, no doubt about it. But you know what though? I'm actually going to go with Bianca Belair. I feel like they've been giving her a lot of heel tendencies lately. I feel like they're kind of giving a little bit more edge to her character than she's had, rather than just being a smiling babyface like she's been the last couple of years. And I see Bianca Belair coming out on top of that one. That's just a hunch. I could definitely see. I can even see Io Sky returning in this one too. So it's very close. But I do agree with you that Ray Ripley probably got a better chance than Io to win it. But my favorite in this match would be Bianca Belair. So uh, you know, once again, that's another good match right there. The biggest match on the card, the undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes defending his title against the 16-time former world champion John Cena. And if he wins number 17 on Sunday night, he will pass Ric Flair for the most recognized world championship runs in the history of professional wrestling. Dan, who do you see coming out on top of this one?
I feel like they want to give John Cena one more title moment, and I feel like this is the right stage to give him that title moment. Would be WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm with you too, actually. I think John Cena wins. I think John Cena gets that 17th World Championship to pass Ric Flair. And then he's going to be the heel champion for at least the next few months, uh, going into a SummerSlam or whatever plans they have for it, I would assume. That Cena is going to be that guy. Cody Rhodes, I feel like, has done a good job with the title. Say what you want, I know he did get some boos last night on SmackDown, which I know he wasn't expecting. Especially, it doesn't make any sense when John Cena comes out and he's facing Cody Rhodes and they're booing John Cena. And then Cody Rhodes comes out, he's supposed to be the big baby face, and he got booed last night. So these guys don't know what the heck they want. You get some of these wacky fan reactions from big WrestleMania crowds and everything. So that'll be interesting to see how everybody reacts to that. But either way, it's going to be the undisputed WWE Championship uh, on the line. Cody Rhodes putting up against John Cena, and I agree with you. Again, what do you think in this too? Do you think like so far? Let's be honest. The Rock and Travis Scott were a big part of this whole setup going down at Elimination Chamber when Cody Rhodes turned down the Rock's offer, and we've seen nothing about that since then. You know what I mean? Like there has the only thing uh, last night, Cody Rhodes, I'm sorry, it was John Cena, finally mentioned The Rock's name, which he hadn't even done throughout all of his appearances on Raw and SmackDown over the last month or two since that Elimination Chamber event took place. He hasn't even mentioned The Rock's name until last night. So my question to you, Dan, is do we see The Rock at some point on Sunday night getting involved in this match?
Yeah, I feel like The Rock is gonna make an appearance some point on Sunday night.
Uh, you think he's going to be screwing over Cody Rhodes, right?
Yeah, I just feel like The Rock is gonna make an appearance somewhere after this match.
Now we know that Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be in the building too. He was there at the Hall of Fame ceremony last night as his match with Bret Hart from WrestleMania got 13 was inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is a pretty cool moment for him and Bret. Last year they wanted Stone Cold to be the guy to come in and help Cody Rhodes win the championship and help him overcome all the interference from The Rock and the Bloodline. That ended up not happening and they used The Undertaker instead. Well, Austin's going to be in the building this year. Do you see Austin getting involved to kind of try to combat The Rock in this match?
Yeah, I feel like Austin is also going to make an appearance, really bringing this thing old school.
That '90s old school attitude era, right?
Yep, exactly. That era when I just really I would go out of my way to watch the pay per views I couldn't pay for. Like there was a lot of VHS tape passing around during the Attitude Era with pay per views.
On the whole same thing, talking about that exact thing, talking about going to the black box and stealing the paper views and passing the tape around to his friends as a kid. And I think that's pretty much something we can all relate to from that time period. So yeah, definitely with you on that, Dan. And and I think that's just about going to do it for us here on this WrestleMania show. I want to get your opinion, before we finish this thing up, Dan. What are you most looking forward to from this edition of WrestleMania?
I'm just looking. I'm anticipating just something, just some surprise that is not going to be somewhere not amongst the rumors. Somewhere probably during this championship match. I feel like.
Okay, okay, I can see that. And just so you know, Shinji Akari used to use too. Thanks for coming out there on this edition of WrestleMania that People Has podcast. So Dan, uh, as you're waiting in line now for this Mr. Met bobblehead, this Empire State Building edition of Mr. Met bobblehead, what time did they let you in now? It's about 1 o'clock right now Eastern time. What time did the gates open?
About an hour before the gates open.
Okay, so what, the gates open up at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, yeah, about right.
All right, and I think that's just about going to do it for us here on this edition of Best Seat in the House. Jim, do you have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Sure, my Twitter account Bobo103NYC, Instagram Bobo718D 718DK on Instagram, same username on Threads, YouTube one word Daniel Curlin for all your content. Get access to stuff like Trackside Minute. You subscribe to our Patreon, you get access to Trackside Minute and all that good stuff. Plus, early access to my YouTube videos.
That's right. Please check that out. Make sure to go to our social media pages, Decent Underscore Podcast on Twitter and also on Instagram too at Best Eat and House Podcast. We appreciate all the support from everybody for hanging out with us. And so that's going to do it for us here. Everybody, enjoy WrestleMania. We got a great day of sports ahead of us. The Mets are coming on at 4. The Knicks are coming on at 6. WrestleMania is starting at 7. We got a great day of sports. Everybody, buckle your seatbelts, as the great Bob Murphy used to say, and enjoy the day. For my co-host, the great Daniel Bobo Curlin, I'm Rob Cramer. This is the Best Eat House Podcast, everybody. And from City Field, and from the Grimace, everybody, enjoy WrestleMania. Have a great weekend. And we'll catch you on Sunday for our Patreon show. But if you're not on Patreon, which you could be for just $5 on patreon.com/podcast. We appreciate the support from everybody there already. And we'll be back on YouTube next week, like always. So enjoy yourself, everybody. Have a great weekend.